Ice Shack. If you go through the ice, water soaks through the layers of clothes and pulls you down. It forces the air out of your lungs, and you drown by the time you hit the bottom. And you're gone, until they find your body in the spring. If they find your body. There's no one but us walking on the lake. Falling snow makes it difficult to see the ice shack 400 yards out. That's where Louie is waiting for us. That's where the boss told Louie and me to bring Jimmy, because I vouched for Jimmy. And Jimmy owes too much money. When we were kids, Jimmy fell through the ice in the middle of Square Pond, where the water was 30 feet deep. The cold water and the sudden pull-down came, and his face turned the color of the chunks of ice he'd broken through. I lunged and caught his hand. His fingernails dug into my palms. He begged me and God at the same time to save him as his head dipped under and he choked on mouthfuls of water. I could feel the toes of my rubber boots sliding over the ice as the weight of them and his drenched layers pulled me towards the hole. My fingers clawed at the ice until Jimmy, somehow, shucked off his boots and bottom layers and kicked and pulled until we were lying on the ice, panting and scared. This lake is deeper. Jimmy walks a few feet in front of me, pulling the toboggan loaded with ice traps, the auger, bait, beer, and food. My top thermal has shifted up on the small of my back, and I feel the icy metal against my flesh, pale with the indentation of the safety on the pistol. Jimmy puts a cigarette to his lips and checks his pockets. "Got a light?" he asks, looking back at me. I can't look Jimmy in the eyes. I light a smoke. He turns, and I adjust the gun. 3 days ago, I slept with Jimmy's wife. She pulled me into her softness with her legs, thighs squeezing against my ribs, used her heels to push into the small of my back. Her red hair was tangled in my fingers as I pulled it, hair I smelled while biting the side of her chin. The same hair that sometimes felt a hint of its fragrance on Jimmy, that I can smell on the wind blowing off his shoulders. Sweat and white wine. I've been sleeping with Jimmy's wife for a while, collapsing on top of her on starched hotel sheets with love and guilt swirling in my stomach, like the baby she's carrying. My baby. We're almost there, I tell Jimmy. He pushes on. The sliding toboggan whispers against the snow behind him. The ice shack is 50 yards away. Louie has a snowmobile parked beside it. Behind the ice shack is the hole. It's the hole exposing water, dark, cold, black, like shadows inside the barrel of a gun. It's a hole we're supposed to dump Jimmy's body in after I kill him. The snow collects against the seams of my boots and the straps at the cuffs of my jacket. Cold creeps over my nose, across my cheekbones, down the sides of my neck, inside my jacket, curls into a ball against my chest, then rolls down my ribs and the insides of my arms, around my wrists, where it spins into my palms, between my fingers, and over my knuckles, like something curious and colorful. We step up to the door of the ice shack, and Louie comes out. "Hey, Jimmy," he says. He hands him a small pouch with some tools in it. "Take a look at this sled, will you, Jimmy? It's been stalling out." Jimmy drops a rope from the toboggan. He looks at me in the eye as he takes the tools. He turns and squats near the engine of the sled. I slip the gun from my pants, click the safety off, and hold the muzzle against the back of my leg. Louie takes a step back and moves behind me. I hear his jacket rustling like he's reaching for something. He taps my left shoulder and points at the back of Jimmy's head. Jimmy's breath rolls over his shoulder, and I can see the side of his face, the wind burn on his cheeks, and the snow falling against his neck. I look at Louie and bring the gun up. I slide the gun across my chest, put the barrel against Louie's jaw and pull the trigger. The shot blows the hearing out of my left ear. Louis spins and I step away from him. He falls to the snow on his hands and knees, blood spattering from the bottom of his jawless face. Jimmy is crouched on the ice, covering his ears. I turn toward Louis, and his babbling howl enters my right ear. Snow is clinging to my eyelashes, making my eyelids quiver to shake them off. I push the barrel against the back of Louis's head. I pull the trigger again, and watch a scarlet burst spray onto his outstretched fingers and the snow. His body collapses. The echo of the gunshot rumbles to the edges of the lake. Jimmy grabs Louis's feet and I take an arm. We drag him around the ice shack to the hole. When we roll Louis in, water spills out over the ice, making slush out of the snow. Pockets of air bubble inside his jacket. Then the faceless body sinks out of sight. I pull the set of keys from my pocket. There's a red camp on the other side of the lake, a pickup in the driveway. Jimmy takes the keys. He puts them in his pocket. "You can never come back, Jimmy," I say. "I know," he says.